Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition, or in this case, our inaugural edition of Pica TV Educational Miniseries. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Paul Zaffarana with Pica Marketing Group. There you go. That's me. And today's topic is reactivating dormant customers. You know, in what's going on right now, many of your clients and or customers you haven't reached out to them in a little bit. Why? Because you probably haven't been able to see them. So what we'd like to do is help you figure out how to approach it. So hopefully you have some record keeping, a CRM package of sorts, some way to record who your clients are, whether it's through your vertical market, be it automotive, healthcare, manufacturing, technology, whatever that is. Maybe it's by your other demographic. You know, it's by that company. You're really into the healthcare field. You may want to focus on just that, which is great. You want to be in a niche market because that really is going to separate you from all your competition. Other thing you could do is maybe by title. Maybe you deal with marketing managers, COOs, CFOs, HR directors, whatever that title is that may be across any of those markets that you service. Maybe you focus on that. And within your sales and CRM system, you want to assign it a dollar amount, right? You know that these clients that spend X amount inside of there are at this level. Maybe a $50,000 a year client is an A client, and $25,000 is a B client. C clients at $15,000, $10,000, $5,000, and anything under $2,500 is an E or F client. As you all know, you get 80% of your business from 20% of your client base. So evaluating who's in your database is going to be key. Then you're going to find out at that point which ones of those clients are a big time draw for you. You may have a client that's an E or F client that is causing you to do a ton of work, and it's driving you away from your other revenue generating activities. Some of your other clients that are really easy to work with, you get along with them, you've got good flow, it's a good use of your time. You've got good communication skills out there. So as you go through and figure out who that is in your database, you've got to also evaluate what kind of time crunch you want to spend with that client. That's a big factor in all this. So how can you determine it? Your KPIs, your key performance indicators. Again, your time is valuable. So how do you want to spend it? What's the potential spend within the organization? And once you determine that, your life is going to be a whole lot easier. Well, at least I think it'll be a lot easier, because now that's where the real work is going to begin. You determine who you want to go after, why you want to go after them, what the potential revenue is or sales numbers that you want to reach out of it, and how it's going to affect you overall. There's a couple ways you could do that. With your dormant client base, you can do a couple things, because let's face it, we all have limited time out there. So what better way of doing it than to see what your time is worth? You want to eat an elephant, you eat it one bite at a time. I'll give you a couple ways you could do it. One, you section out a portion of your day, maybe 15 minutes or half an hour, that you take and plug away at your list. You make a handful of calls, update your database for it. Maybe you do that. 20 calls a day, 15 calls a day over the course of 5 days. Let's just say it's 20 a day over 5 days. That's 100 a week. Or a month is 400. So as you can see, you can really add on to it. If you're like, hey, you know what, that's not for me, I don't have that kind of time. Maybe you hire, maybe it's an intern you bring in. Maybe you hire a college student to come in and help you go through that, to collect that information for you. You're like, you know what, I don't want to go that route. I want to hire a professional. There are a variety of organizations out there that will do exactly that, that you provide them with your database. They will go through and give you feedback on who's there, not there, somebody else is there, and help you populate your database for that reason. So those are a couple resources out there, and we can help you navigate through that. Once you get into that portion, you figured out who you wanted to have in there, you've got to come up with a budget, because without a plan and without a budget, you could spend till the cows come home. And let's face it, we all have champagne and caviar wishes, but we may have a beer and pretzel budget. So rely on a marketing partner like ourselves to help you figure out how to spend that budget. We don't ask the budget question because we want to spend all your budget money. We ask that question because we want to help you determine what the best course of action is for you. Maybe it means you don't spend as much over here, or you don't go after as many clients in that to have an effective marketing campaign. So having somebody help you design it, implement it, measure it, and follow up as needed and repeat as necessary is a very viable solution to this program. So as you're designing the program, you're going to rely on your marketing professionals, such as myself or our staff, to give you the best solution for it. You may come to us saying, hey, you know what, we want to spend $50,000 and we want $50,001 pens to hand out at a trade show. Is that really an effective use of your marketing dollar? What's your ROI on it? Do you have time to follow up with $50,001 appointment pens? That may not be the case. Maybe your organization is large enough to handle it, but for a lot of instances out there, it's not. So having that ability to hire a professional to design it, implement it, set the expectations up front, and set a measurable goal. What do you want the program to do? What do you, in your mind, is going to make it a very effective program or a successful program? And once you set it up, you can use that same program that year and many years to come, or as long as you need to. So I'll give you a quick case history on one of the programs that we did that involved our Pica Marketing Diner, which is on our Pica TV channel. That marketing diner started out as a virtual trade show. We targeted our existing clients, we targeted some prospects, and we targeted a few other folks right in the middle. We wanted to see where that spend was going to come because everybody hadn't seen it in a while. And we felt there was a good draw for what it was. We relied on our supplier partners, who were all featured during our webinar, and worked with them in advance to come up with the marketing diner campaign. We worked on a set of pens that looked like a French fry box, headphones that looked like a hamburger, a journal that had a built-in NFC technology, so when the user got it, they would engage in the whole experience by tapping their phone on it, and it would launch a Motown music theme piece. The old school diner lunchbox, what was branded out there to be a carrier for it, and we had some drinkware in there where you'd have your smoothies and whatnot, or your shakes back in the day to give that whole nostalgic feel to it. We mailed it out in a nice corrugated box that was printed to look like a diner and had the open for business information on it. And we sent some emails out to prospects. And once somebody registered, they'd receive this kit so they could talk along or view along with the webinar that we put together exactly to those folks that were going to be in attendance. We sent it out to roughly 125 people with follow-ups and emails. And during the webinar, we had 85 people attend it. So the results right there are fantastic from a webinar standpoint and a mailing standpoint. So I'm not sure what other medium you can get out there that gets those types of numbers to it. But I know an average direct mail piece is, 3 to 5% is a really successful program. But we got closer to 75, 80% response on that. From a sales standpoint, one of the orders that came out of it was roughly $75,000 the following day from a dormant client. So while some results may vary, you'll get a good idea that having a plan, writing it down, and targeting who you want to go after is a very, very viable solution for you. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen in. If you want to hear more information or interested in hearing more about us, we have our continuing educational series about vertical market strategies, ROI and ROO. Maybe it's generational marketing, how to mine for new clients, and a variety of other topics we're going to cover. If you'd like to reach out to us in the interim, you can reach out to me at paul@pikamarketinggroup.com. Visit our website at pikamarketinggroup.com. Right here on this web channel at pikatv/youtube.com. And if you're into the whole thing about wanting to call, we're still here. You can reach us on our office line at 313-561-0378. We promise it's not a self-help site or checkout process. We want to keep it personal. Until we meet again, happy marketing and have a great day.